Today, I wanted to cover 3 tips for healthy money relations. Recently, I had come across a study from an investment company, Edward Jones. They conducted this study of 2007 adults, 18 years and older, and the study came up with some very interesting data and also covered a few different suggestions. And so I wanted to talk to you about that today. So you might be surprised to learn that while 81% of the respondents say they feel in control of their financial situation, they also admit mixed emotions when it comes to their money. For example, only 21% of respondents reported that they feel happy when thinking about saving money. And that is a little discouraging as a financial planner who works closely with individuals and families, helping them win with money and increasing their financial IQ. That number is a little, again, disappointing. The survey also found a couple of other interesting statistics that 30% of respondents who have some emergency savings still do not have enough saved to cover 1 month of expenses. This too is alarming. Conventional wisdom, which I agree with, is that you should have 3 to 6 months of expenses in an emergency fund, typically in a bank and or money market. The fact that so few Americans have this in place is a disappointment. Another data point is that 25% of the respondents say they expect to reduce or improve their spending habits. And this is not at all surprising. In fact, I've had a string of meetings recently where I've met some really wonderful, talented, smart, hardworking people that are out of control with their money. And when you look at their income and the high levels of income they've earned for an extended period of time, it's a little surprising how little net worth they actually created. Everybody needs to spend money. You want to have fun with your money. You want to enjoy money at all levels of your lifetime, whether you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, and so on. I understand FOMO, the fear of missing out. I understand carpe diem, seize the day. You only live once. These are all reasons why you'd want to spend money and enjoy yourself. But far too many people, their spending is way out of whack relative to what you need to do to achieve long-term financial success and build wealth. I'll give you an example. One of these couples that I met recently, they make a decent amount of money. I want to use it just as an illustration. When you look at it the way that I'm going to describe it, I think it jumps out as, that really doesn't sound very smart. They make about $110,000 combined income, which is pretty good. They have 2 car payments that total $1,700 a month. One is $1,000 a month and one is $700 a month. To each their own. It's not my money. I have my money. It's their money, and they can choose to do what they want with it. But it's hard to wrap your head around spending $1,700 a month for cars that depreciate in value on $110,000 income and expect that you're going to win with money consistently and build wealth. Now, opinions can differ. Some people might be listening saying $1,700 on a $110,000 a year salary is fine. I think most people, most of the time, would say that's excessive on the car front. But going back to the study, 25% say they expect to reduce or improve spending habits. I think that is definitely something that people ought to focus on. Spending money and enjoying it, but doing it within reasonable constraint levels and certainly not taking on debt. And the next data point I wanted to talk quickly about is that 10% say they never discuss finances with their family. I found that number to be very encouraging. I got the sense from the report or the survey from Edward Jones that they thought that number was not so great. I actually looked at it optimistically because that means 9 out of 10 folks are discussing finances with family. My sense, having been a certified financial planner and working with families for over 27 years now, I would bet that 10, 20, even 30 years ago that number was higher. I bet significantly higher. So I think that's pretty good because sharing information with family and friends, getting different viewpoints and opinions, not that you have to be an open book with everything, but I think that's pretty good. So the next and actually last data point I wanted to speak about from the Edward Jones study is that while most Americans feel in control of their financial situation, money generates a mix of emotions. I said this earlier already. And when thinking about money, respondents say they felt as follows. 21% said they felt happy when thinking about their current financial situation. 16% felt overwhelmed. 16% felt anxious. And another 16% felt confident. So a wide range of emotions. And if these respondents are like most people I've met, and I'll put me in this category too, it's often a mix and it can change month over month, year after year. There's an ebb and a flow with this. There's been times when I felt very, very financial secure. There have been other times that I felt overwhelmed, times I felt anxious. I've had happiness when it comes to money. So it's not an always type answer to this question, I think, based on my experience. So one of the quotes I pulled out of the study was from Edward Jones investment strategist Neela Richardson, and she said the following: whether you are strapped with student debt, saving to buy a home, or trying to build an emergency fund, there are trade-offs that must be made in balancing these short-term goals and your long-term financial future, such as investing for retirement. I think that is so eloquent and well said. Kudos to Ms. Richardson. So as we finish up, I wanted to give you 3 tips for healthy money relations. And this is my opinion. I drew on this study quite a bit because, again, Edward Jones did a nice job with this. Granted, they are my competition, but the study was very, very well done. So 3 tips. Number 1 is recognize what emotions you feel when it comes to saving and investing your money. For example, how does spending make you feel? For some people, at least some of the time, spending money is a way to contend with stress. Having an awareness of why you spend, and if you spend when you're stressed, if you spend when you're happy, do you spend when you're sad? I think that's a pretty good exercise. How does saving make you feel? There's some people that feel so unbelievably satisfied when they save. That too, by the way, can come in an extreme. We sometimes come across people that want to save every nickel and they don't enjoy their money, especially in retirement. And I think that is a negative outcome in my opinion. But how does saving make you feel? Being honest with yourself about these emotions can prevent you from making emotional money decisions. And in our opinion, emotional money decisions are often the wrong decisions. Being unemotional more often than not is going to yield better decision making, increasing the chances of success and decreasing the chances that you make poor decisions. So that's number 1, is recognizing the emotions you feel around saving, investing, and spending. Second tip for healthy money relations is to develop a sound financial strategy. Having a financial strategy, a financial plan, which is what I do here at Elliott Wealth Management Services. It's what the team and I work an awful lot with our clients, is to develop an overall strategy, a financial plan, a comprehensive approach to money, investing, saving, spending, achievement of goals. And again, I can't emphasize enough, this planning includes spending and enjoying money. We don't advocate to our clients that they sell all their cars and they bike to work. That's probably too extreme and drastic in the vast majority of cases. But developing a sound financial strategy is very helpful. We would love to work with you, if you're not a client of ours already, in developing that sound financial strategy. But the second tip, again, for a healthy money relation is to develop a sound financial strategy. Whether we help you, you do it yourself, or you get help elsewhere. The third tip is to ask yourself if you need an accountability partner. That could be a family member. It could be a financial advisor, like I just mentioned. That's what we do for our clients. Often clients will call and use us as a sounding board. And when we would do review meetings, we talk about the plan, the goals, changes, pressures on folks to get things done, like home improvements or spending money on kids, or anxious to get out of the workforce, contrasted against wanting to make sure that there's enough money in the nest egg to retire successfully. But talking these through with our clients is an important role that we play. It's almost like a combination of teaching with a little bit of partnership and a little bit of counseling thrown in. It's kind of a eclectic mix. But ask yourself if you need an accountability partner. It could be anyone that's good with money, that you respect, that has your best interest at heart. And this accountability partner or partners can help keep you on track, allowing you to reach not just your long-term goals, but also your short and midterm goals. And that is extremely important. So just to review the 3 tips for healthy money relations. Number 1, recognize what emotions you have when it comes to saving, investing, and spending. Number 2, develop a sound financial strategy. And lastly, consider having one or more accountability partners, such as family members or financial professionals, who can help keep you on track. Thanks very much for listening. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, please do so at iTunes or whatever platform you use to listen. I would appreciate it greatly if you would subscribe and if you would recommend a friend or family member to check out the Simply Financial podcast as well. I'll be back with you on the next episode of the Simply Financial podcast very soon.
The views expressed are not necessarily the opinion of SagePoint Financial Incorporated and should not be construed directly or indirectly as an offer to buy or sell any securities mentioned herein. Investing is subject to risks, including loss of principal invested. Past performance is not a guarantee of future results. No strategy can assure a profit nor protect against loss. Please note that individual situations can vary. Therefore, the information should be relied upon when coordinated with individual professional advice. Please note, the information being provided is strictly as a courtesy. When you link to any of the websites provided here, you are leaving this website. We make no representation as to the completeness or accuracy of the information provided at these websites, nor is the company liable for any direct or indirect technical or system issues or any consequences arising out of your access to your use of third-party technologies, websites, information, and programs made available through this website. When you access one of these websites, you are leaving our website and assume total responsibility and risk for your use of the websites you are linking to. Securities and advisory services are offered through SagePoint Financial Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Insurance services offered through Elliott Wealth Management, LLC, not affiliated with SagePoint Financial.